So something that's happening in podcasting right now. This is JR from West Virginia Commonplace. Let me do that rhyme one more time. Something that's happening in podcasting right now that's kind of crazy is people are pod fading. People are getting ran out of podcasting by anxiety and different things like that, and just pressures of life. And I understand inside podcasting, it was a different thing over the last 3 years because it transformed from I'm stuck inside and I can't do anything, so let me podcast, to I'm returning back to my reality. I'm going outside more. I'm out here living my best life. And podcasting doesn't always fit into the mix of things. But I'm going to give you a few little things here like to help you out. Automation is your best friend. I'm not out here with all these posts, posting them on Facebook and Instagram and all these other places. You can use Facebook Business Suite or you can use Hootsuite. And you can take care of all of your podcasting needs, everything you need to do inside podcasting. Getting guests and having guests or even having content. You on your own have to figure that part out. If you're doing a show that has guests on it, there's so many guest sites and there's so many people that want to be on your show that it's not hard to find content. It's hard to create more content. That's the hardest part inside of podcasting. If you're doing this solo and you don't have anybody else that's helping you and different things like that. And some people ride the coach of other people. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm saying like they're in group efforts and different things like that. So creativity keeps going around them. But the problem that I'm seeing here is that people are putting too much emphasis on that they got to be at this level and that level. Truth be told, if you don't put in a certain amount of effort, you will not see a certain amount of, or a certain result at the end. But at certain points, you can coast through some of this stuff. I tell everybody, get you 5 episodes in the bag so that you don't have to worry about your show. If you always got 5 episodes in, when you got some free time, you can go in and schedule guests and get them blocked off and just let them episodes roll. The relevancy of your podcast states and sits as this. As long as your podcast is not a something that has dated material to it, then no one can say anything about the content that you bring out. So just like in my case, my content, you can never say anything about it because I don't do any of that, the Will Smith type stuff. I don't keep up with current events. So current events are not in my foray. So my podcast is going to keep going forever as long as I produce episodes. You can do everything inside podcasting at your own time. Too many people get caught up in this whole swagger that, I got to get out here. I got to get the podcast right. I got to edit it properly, blah, 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 blah. You do need to edit it properly. I am going to say that. But what I'm going to say is take your time with it. If you get those 5 episodes in the bag, you got time to take care of the next 5 episodes later. It's when you put the pressure on yourself that you got to do this every week. You got to do it this day. You got to do all this extra stuff. That's where these issues, like I said, I don't deal with anxiety or anything, but that's where these pressures come on you, these podcast pressures. And then when you get inside and get affiliated into these communities inside podcasting, you start dealing with some real rather crude individuals and some odd individuals and some people that got weird energy. So you got to be very careful how you make your moves and stuff like that. That's the only mental English you got to do. And with that, that's trial and error. I run out here, I go do certain episodes with certain people. I got certain people that I like to do episodes with, so I keep them around. Them are my collaborators now. Yeah, I'll go do something with a new person here or there, or if I'm interviewing someone new. But actual collaborations, I've gotten to the point I'm seasoned. I know who I like. I know who my audience likes. I know who they dislike. So I keep up with them, keep up with that, and that's how we do podcasting. We don't do anything extra. It's always cool to help up-and-coming podcasters make a segment like I do for Podcast Collide. If you're doing an episode by yourself, you should truly talk to the experts that do episodes by themselves, because I don't do very many episodes by myself. But I do get out here and try to, work my episodes to the best of my ability. When I do the ones by myself, they're only 5 to 10 minutes. Like this one you're getting right now is only going to be about maybe 6-7 minutes long. But what I'm trying to get across here to you is that it's so many ways you can put brakes on your podcast, and you can do it at your own speed and be comfortable with it. As long as at one point you do rush it a little bit. You get out there and you do what I always tell people. There's 2 people. There's one person that talks a lot of stuff and acts like they're going to do what they're going to do, and then there's people that do it. So to flip that around, it's like they talk a good one, but the one that does what they're supposed to gets a better result. So be that person that does what they're supposed to at certain points, and then it's easier on you. Then you can take these vacations. You can stop podcasting. Like, for instance, I haven't actively done any full podcasts for anything since last year. I do a podcast here and there when I want to. I do things that are fun now. It's not a pressure because I learned to build up the catalog, get some episodes in there, do some different variations. Sometimes you need to go off topic inside your series. For instance, if you know that you're doing mental health, and it's starting to put a strain on you, why not let me hear about the TV shows you're watching? Why not let me hear about the movies that you went and watched last week with your children? Why not do something extra that doesn't take away from your podcast, but it gives you another blanket to fall back on? Because I'm telling you, out of the group that has come up with me in podcasting, I have seen not one of them that's in my tier, or in my class. None of them have lasted. All of them have PodFaded, or something has caused them to cease to exist now because these people didn't prepare for longevity. These people didn't prepare for what I always said. Don't make podcasting a mental anguish. Don't make podcast more than what it is. It's an outlet. It's a vehicle for you to advertise, promote, and for the other ones that are doing it as a hobby, for you guys to do whatever you need for your emotional needs. But you can't just keep going on and not filling your cup. So, in closing, if you're deciding to let your podcast fade, or you're deciding to walk away for a little bit, that's fine. You can do those things. That's all right. If you decide to quit, that's cool too. But the one thing I'm just saying to you is just be calm with what you're doing and stay positive and collective inside podcasting, and you'll last. On that note, this is JR from West Virginia and Commonplace. This episode is entitled Podcast Fading or Pod Fading. I don't want to see any more of my peers fall to this, because every week I see a different message or see something on an Instagram story and somebody falls victim to pod fading. Check me out at www.wvuncommonplace.com. Make sure you link up on the email, join the premium content on Apple, and you'll definitely get extra episodes that are not available anywhere else. Signing off.